Welcome back to Comics Experiment right here at the Comicstorian Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Comicstorian, every Thursday at about 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. Dan threw me off by showing off one of our sponsors today.
Yes.
I'm going to get to it in a second.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this one.
This is a podcast show that we do every week on Thursdays, gets released on Saturdays on the YouTube channel. We look for lists, we have fun looking at them, agreeing with them, disagreeing with them, making fun of them. We'll let you know what we picked out today. It's a CBR one. Those are always Andy's favorite.
I don't know who made that list, but that person is an idiot.
But
It'd be
anyway,
funny if this is a Sal list, though. If like Sal made it.
Oh, that'd
he's
be
been
funny.
writing for CBR.
Let me check if he wrote it, because that,
really
if he did, we're so doing the list.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
But today, one of our sponsors, Dan, go to the one you want to talk about first.
So we were sponsored by Backbone, which is like this controller for your phone company. Honestly, probably one of the most comfortable controllers that I've ever had that connects to a phone. It like turns it into like a game screen mode. And the deal that you can get with us is you go to playbackbone.com/experiment to get free access to over 350 console games. This one specifically is sponsored, or not sponsored, an officially licensed product by PlayStation, and it is just as comfortable as a PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah, I mean,
I really like this sponsor. You should get it. Playbackbone.com/experiment. Sorry.
a lot of the app game promotions video here, we actually play and use ourselves. We actually play them. I literally was just playing Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, a battle royale on your phone that I think 4 of us are playing because we fight a lot of bots in it, but it's a lot of fun. Our other sponsor is, hold up the can, Dan, G Fuel. Use the code comics at checkout. Get yourself some energy.
Goofuel.
Goofuel?
Yeah, that's how it's actually pronounced.
Oh, I didn't.
Goofuel.
That'd be hilarious.
You guys should get some
saying it wrong
Goofuel.
the whole time.
Strawberry banana.
No, that was wrong. It is
Strawberry.
strawberry banana. I don't know why you pronounce that weird.
It's a strawberry.
And don't forget to check out our other sponsor, Shortbox, an app that allows you to get your hands on some graded comic books from CGC. You okay there, Dan?
Yes, I really like this controller.
Shortbox, a great app that allows you to get CGC graded comic books on their app. They'll help you track it down, figure out exactly what you're looking for and what you're getting your hands on. All right, today's list is the worst things that Batman, Bruce Wayne, DC ever did. Pretty sure that's let me look at the actual name because that was the link.
Oh, I was like, what a horrible way to title that.
The 10 worst things that Batman, Bruce Wayne from DC ever did. Yeah, no.
Nope, that's
Slightly better. It's got some bridging words instead of just a comma.
well, you know how I know it's from CBR.
Andy, remember how I said I'm going to have you proofread? I'm just going to put no bridging words. I'm just going to put just nouns.
I'm not proofreading, so you send it to me instantly. I send it back. Looks solid, man. I don't know.
Get that published. All right, so number 1 or number 10, because this one is listed 10 to 1.
Okay.
So the first one on this list is that he almost killed Alfred. Throughout
Which time?
That's what I was thinking when I read
No,
this.
that man is in constant danger.
Why does he stay?
Luckily,
Great benefits.
I saw
he's a spy.
I saw a great clip on YouTube. Someone modded in Alfred instead of Batman and Arkham Knight. So it's Alfred running around.
That is pretty fun.
And like, when Batman dies, Alfred's there to show him shooting out of the Batmobile.
I would
honestly
watch that movie, play that game, and read that comic.
I would enjoy an Alfred game more than I'd enjoy a Batman game at this point. Like that actually sounds
It could be like
pretty
a
awesome.
side game,
right?
Like
it's
you
his
play as the
origin
main
story as a spy.
Yeah.
What if it's a story of Alfred and he set everything up so that everything Bruce wants to do succeeds? So he's like setting up the line. He's setting up the thing to fly over. He's like,
he goes out and preps the city for him.
Yeah, and that's
That
your
would be
job.
exhausting.
Well, Batman sleeps during the day, so every day from like 9 a.m. to 5, Alfred's just out prepping the
see.
city.
And
He's
then
like, all right,
goes to
Alfred,
bed
it's
at
your
night."
shift. I'm gonna go to bed.
But this particular one, throughout the course of his 80 years spent under the cowl, Bruce has pushed towards the edge time and time again. However, during the events of Batman Who Laughs miniseries, Bruce is perhaps pushed to the furthest point in his career. Not only does he eventually purposefully allow himself to succumb to the effects of the Joker toxin, but he loses control to such a degree that he nearly strangles Alfred to death when he won't give him back his new toy. Avows are made of nth metal, just like the Batman Who Laughs.
Metal.
That was such a minute moment in that comic. I don't even remember that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, sorry.
most of
Say
the
it
Batman
again.
Who
Like,
Laughs
how
comic.
did he almost?
The
go?
Batman Who Laughs comic is when Batman Who Laughs came to the planet, and Batman had to actually
Yeah.
fight him directly without all the stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
And what happened in it is Batman injects himself with the Joker toxin to
Because
think
it's the
like.
only way he can
That's
outthink him.
right. I remember
to
this
think
one.
like him.
Yeah.
He's totally fine at the end.
What I love this.
He's like, well, I got better.
Okay, so this came out in 2019. I was gonna say because like a year later he died in Tom King's run. So
I actually
Yes.
remember that because like they were like testing doses, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you in a second, Alfred. Be careful."
Back it off. Back it off.
okay, so we did a little less on that one. That dose is a little high. Number 9 is that he abused his fiance.
Well, I mean,
Which one?
Yeah, Catwoman.
And define abuse.
yeah,
'cause-
When Bruce
emotionally,
Wayne,
basically.
I'll read it, guys. I'll read it.
All right, go ahead.
While Batman has made a name for himself as one of Gotham's most eligible bachelors and playboys, he finally gets engaged to the lovely Silver St. Cloud.
Oh, okay. So this is a while ago.
this
Yeah.
was
However,
courted the
like
Alps?
most things with a
No,
man
it's
that
like
dresses like a
70s.
bat at night to beat up people, things aren't that simple. Not only does he become extremely paranoid, but he accuses his fiancée of being a robot. And after becoming increasingly unhinged, he grabs her by her hair, yanking out a strand in order to test his theory if she's a robot.
That's a robot, baby. Why won't this wig come up?
I'm sorry. That one is just kind of funny. Because
Batman's like,
we're talking
not
about
only is that bitch cheating on me, I'm pretty sure she ain't even human.
but I just love it because
And
it's
if
like
she's a robot, of course this will come right off.
Why won't this wig?
it's just funny because we're talking about the guy who is like prides himself on being the world's greatest detective.
Right.
Learning, figuring out all these different things.
There
and he's
was
like,
signs, if I'm being honest.
No.
Motor oil in the bed.
She pooped on the pillow.
She's not Amber Heard.
Oh, sorry.
Amber Heard, the robot.
Sorry, we said abuse. No, okay, that's ridiculous. However, that does make some future stories make sense because I didn't read that one, but I remembered that name.
Silver
and
St.
I,
Cloud?
yeah, and
that
I know
was-
there have been moments where
bel-
like there's that awkward tension between them.
I'm not a historian with Golden Age, Silver Age, but I believe she was brought in as one of the ways to avoid the whole Batman and Robin are gay. Silver St. Cloud.
So they just turn him into a domestic abuser instead.
Yeah, it's better. It was the 70s.
I was
That's
gonna say,
actually better.
it was like
That's
the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
It was okay then, apparently.
Yeah, that was fine.
They were like, Hank Pym did it.
Yeah, he kept it in the home. That's what happened. I mean, talk about it.
Okay,
This is getting
okay,
worse.
next one.
It's getting worse.
Next one.
No, I think her and then Batwoman, the original Kate Kane, and Batgirl, the original one, or those were also there to like, no, they're not gay. Look, women.
They like boobs.
They even purposely
was
put a page and they're like,
They had a lot of
Dick,
weird-
when you're older, you're going to find a fine woman like that. I'm just telling
No,
you.
they just had a lot of weird, awkward, like rooftop conversations. We must stop the Joker, and also aren't boobs great? Agreed, Batman. What?
I'm just picturing that, but make it look like that first scene in Injustice where Batman and Superman are having that heart to heart on the roof.
Yeah, same thing.
All right,
We've got to hunt down the Catwoman. Isn't she hot, Robin? Agreed, Batman.
I might marry her someday, but that's for another time. Another story.
number 8 is he hanged a dude from the bat plane. Batman
Yeah.
has been serving
Yeah.
in Gotham for over 8 decades now, and while he has more recently become a hero associated with never picking up a gun or never killing anyone, the beginning of his hero career isn't so squeaky clean. The weird thing is, and this is not a joke, we were talking about this before
Earlier
the show,
today,
and Andy had no idea this was on the list.
Yeah, I said, what are they going to talk about that time in the first 3 issues of Detective Comics where he carries a gun? Like straight up carries a gun.
They had to change it later on because they're like, oh my God, Batman's kill count's higher than the Joker's. We really should fix this.
Is it the Joker again? Has he murdered the mayor? To stop him, I will murder 7 people. But they're all bad, so it's okay.
That's what I've never understood about superhero things in general. Everyone's like, superheroes don't kill. They kill every henchman to the villain. And
But
then
you never see that unless you're the Punisher, who does not even play around. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna murder everybody.
But I'm just saying, like, I was watching
half the fun of it.
when I was rewatching the Batman stuff. Like, he'd go to the main villain and then
Yes.
like, I'm putting you in Arkham. I've murdered 30 of your henchmen who are wearing ice skates, Mr. Freeze, but I'm putting you and Arkham.
Yeah. That's always the craziest thing about all things like this is they kill and beat the crap out of all the henchmen. They show up to the bag and I'm gonna let you live. It's like, what about these guys?
That way he can get more henchmen, so I can beat them up.
Ah,
It's the problem.
See, this is for the economy too.
That's true.
It's like the number one
job
job
maker.
It's the number one issue of like all of our favorite video games if you overthink them.
Yeah.
Like a great example is Uncharted. He's supposed to be a hero who doesn't
Oh,
want
that
to
dude
kill
is a
you.
mass murderer.
Nathan Drake like murders everyone on route
he's
to
a
the
serial
treasure.
killer who like just makes it sound okay because he's going after treasure.
It's like
mean,
it's
it's the same
also
thing in
Far
last-
Cry where you're like, all right, there's an outpost.
murder everybody
I'm just
and hang
gonna kill everyone and wait for them to respawn so I can kill them again, get better loot.
Last of Us is the same thing. It's like once you're outside of the city borders, no laws.
Oh yeah, Joel is a mass murderer. But they kind of like
At least in that one they touch on that.
they touch on it and they kind of talk about how like the world has become like this lawless place of marauders and things like that. So at least there is like some, and they do talk about it. Like,
yeah. Well, how about
this is what you got to do to survive.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
You don't have to be a mass murderer in that one.
But
Yeah,
you
you do.
get to.
You choose to be.
Yeah, but if you just think about the amount of people that Arthur kills in that, it's like
But most of them were shooting at you at the same time.
most.
So it's kind of like a killer. Well, that
that
just because
butcher was
you
trying to
played
rob
it-
me of some money.
Just because you played as a mass murderer doesn't mean you have to.
Ben's the guy that's like, hey, my friends are playing. Headshot, headshot, headshot.
Say when I've dueled people, I would shoot the guns out of their hands.
Ah,
kneecap.
I shot them in the head.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't worry. That reminds me of a time that I
Duality
played-
of players.
when we first brought Dan into playing Grand Theft Auto. Dan's plan was to murder every cop so that none can report on
I
him.
thought
Well, they
it was
gotta
like
run out of cops
Assassin's
at some
Creed.
point.
That was my thought.
I'm with you.
They don't.
They don't. It's
don't run out
it's
of
like
cops.
Payday.
In
Like,
fact-
they got to be running out of cops in this city.
Turns out they respawn more with helicopters with missiles on them, and they do not care about civilian casualties while they're going for you either.
They don't. That is true.
So anyway, this story here
Just
goes
like
back
the real bully.
This story goes back to the beginnings of Batman when he was also a mass murderer. During the events of Batman #1, Hugo Strange escapes from prison and injects some escaped lunatics with a drug that essentially turns them into giants. These
This is the
mentally
1940s. It was easier to write comics.
These mentally ill giants are harder to take down than Batman expects. So in order to stop one of them, he hangs the dude from the bat plane and just flies around.
Yep.
And,
And
for the record,
then-
I want to know, he hangs him by the neck. He straight up kills him.
And then I believe at one point he's like, well, I got to keep going. And he like unties him and just drops the body. He's like, I got shit to do. Get off. I don't want to lose my rope. Come on. My knot is too high. Can't get rid of him.
Oh man, that's a good 4 feet of rope I just lost there because this guy.
This stuff doesn't grow on trees, you know.
Number
I'm a
7
millionaire.
is one of those moments where Batman just takes out the Justice League. In Injustice, he uploaded a virus into Cyborg's system.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
The
yeah,
day
yeah.
they met too.
Yeah. Wow.
They're like, when did you do this?
That's probably
the
the
dates where we met. What the
That's probably
hell?
like the most Batman thing.
Yeah.
Cyborg, if you ever turned evil, I put some malware in there.
Honestly, I will give him credit on that one. That one's logical because it works for if Cyborg turns against him or someone else takes over Cyborg.
That's true, yeah. Well, that was his. That was his whole thing on the Tower of Babel. Is
Yeah.
like, if anyone's ever controlling the Justice League, this way takes them down.
I believe in Tower of
'Cause it
Babel,
was
even
in,
Superman agrees. He's like, oh, remember that time that
and
I
then
turned evil?
And then I believe, doesn't he give him like kryptonite?
Yeah.
I think that's when they're supposed to like canonically he gives him the kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know in the animated movie as well, the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, the entire plot of that is at the beginning, they've hacked into Cyborg, they know the plans of everything, and that's how they beat the Justice League.
Yeah.
And then like the first 5 minutes, it's not really a spoiler.
Wow, spoilers.
Number 6 is actually an infamous one because it happened more recently. I believe it was the 90s, but when he walled off KG Beast in the sewer.
Oh yeah.
So
Just for weird,
This is
that's
ingenious.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
More
Just,
recently.
just so we know.
no, but I'm saying is like
more recent than
I-
the
it-
40s.
because if we
is true.
if we reference the Silver Age, it's like Silver Age nonsense.
I know.
If we reference the Golden Age, like Batman killed. No,
Although
this
if
is
we reference the 90s, it's edgy as
Now we're in the Platinum Age. Soon
where
we'll
it's
get
all
the
about
Titanium
social
Age
issues.
and-
I mean, realistically, that's
It really
the
is.
90s. It was all about violence and for some reason, pouches. I don't know why. Everybody had pouches.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
so
hair. Like
unwilling
hair
to,
for days,
unwilling to deal
months.
with KGB, so Batman once left him locked in the sewer, seemingly to let him starve to death. Which is what he kind of did again in Tom King's run, where he
I was gonna say he does that all the time to KGB. He's
just-
like, you know what? I'm gonna leave you to die.
It's just kind of a weird way to do it. It's like, Batman, how are we ever going to defeat Bane? Well, we're not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trap him in the sewers, let him starve to death. Maybe I'll remember to go down there and get him before he dies.
It was like when he catches KGBs after shooting Dick Grayson down.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah.
leaves him in the like snowy tundra.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
the nearest place is 20 miles away. Good luck.
And he's got to do the, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to let you live either. Or I don't have to save you.
Yeah.
It's like when he leaves Ra's al Ghul in the train and Batman begins.
That's the
There's
quote.
also
Have a good
another.
one.
See you later.
There's another KGB one where doesn't he like build like put him in a wall and then
No,
build
that's the
a
sewer.
wall?
That's this one.
That was the.
Yeah.
I could have sworn there's
boards
another
him up.
time where he like literally bricks him up into a wall.
I've actually never read the actual panel of where he does this. Here's what it says. Sometimes you have to sometimes you have to ignore the rules.
Yeah.
Sometimes circumstances are such that rules pervert justice. I'm not in the business to pervert the rules. I serve justice. And he's just boarding up KGBs.
Hey, whatever lets you sleep at night, Bruce. Or during the day, I guess.
He's like, all right, let me get my list of loopholes. Oh yeah, it's on here. All right, yeah.
He's good.
Number
I left him a
five.
sandwich.
Number 5 is Brother Eye. I forgot he created Brother Eye.
Technically, yeah.
Because it always
And,
links to Ted Kord's death.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
always like,
yeah.
oh, Ted Kord made Brother Eye. No,
Yeah.
Batman made Brother Eye.
Batman, yeah. It was his Tony Stark moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like a bat cowl around
Because then there's, yeah.
But after discovering that Zatanna and several other heroes have been wiping the minds of villains in order to reprogram them as more agreeable members of society,
What's the problem?
which is also the Pleasantville storyline in Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's put them all in a nice town.
What's the problem?
Batman's
not
mind
technically
is
murder.
wiped so that they may continue. However, after the group comes clean to Batman about what they've done, the ever suspicious Bat does what an endlessly paranoid Bat-themed hero would do and builds himself a giant sentient spy satellite to aim at all of the various members of the Justice League.
I just have now I have this image of Batman constantly thinking everyone's a robot.
Hey, Wonder Woman. we can just go over there. For a second.
All right.
While it does work for a while, the system is not as safe as Batman would have liked it to be, and eventually is
Shocking.
taken over by Maxwell Lord, who uses the tech for his own insidious plans.
That happens a lot. Batman's like, I have this brilliant plan. Oh, I gotta take it over again.
The best part is two Batman abused that because in Super Sons of Tomorrow, Tim Drake Batman comes back from the future because he's got the Brother Eye suit.
Do we have a portal to open up today?
We
then?
do. Backbone. I'm gonna play while you watch.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Backbone. Are you ready for the ultimate gaming experience? Are you ready to get the most out of your iPhone with the most comfortable iPhone controller on the market? Well, then get ready for Backbone. Backbone just released an officially licensed PlayStation edition of their beloved Backbone 1. The colors, materials, and finishes are all inspired by the PS5 DualSense controller. And I'm not kidding when I say that it truly feels like you're holding a PS5 controller. Simply plug in your iPhone to the Backbone and enjoy console quality controls as you play console games via remote play or cloud streaming services and App Store games. I've been using it on my game Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, and I've improved tenfold because of it. Backbone is also the official partner of Diablo Immortal. Not only is the game specifically optimized for Backbone, but you can also receive $10 in in-game perks. Go to playbackbone.com/experiment now to order your Backbone, and for a limited time, you'll get free access to over 350 console games and perks. That's playbackbone.com/experiment. Find your next adventure at playbackbone.com/experiment.
All right, thanks
Except
for
you
watching.
can't figure out how to twist the
I know.
swipe the screen.
It's weird. Anyway, great controller. Let's go.
Okay, so number 4 on this list is actually a really interesting one because it's something that not a lot of people know. I'm assuming you guys all know because we're, Comicstorian. But
Batman is Bruce Wayne.
the Batman Beyond timeline got fleshed out in the comics.
Wait, which one?
Yes.
the Batman Beyond, the
Yes.
original, not all the recreations we've had.
The actual animated series. They
Yeah.
didn't spin off comics.
I remember.
In the Batman Beyond timeline, Dick leaves her Bloodhaven, and Batman and Batgirl get a little too friendly on a
Yep.
rooftop, and Batgirl ends up getting pregnant.
Yep.
What's more messed up about the whole situation is not only is Batman in a position where he could easily take advantage of the young Batgirl, but he does so knowing full well that Dick and Barbara were in a relationship at the time.
Yeah, it's
Well, they
pretty
had to
screwed
make
up.
sure people knew that they weren't gay.
When Dick finds out
the
that
only way.
when Dick finds out what Batman has done, they have their inevitable falling out, and they don't speak to each other for a very long time. We find out about it like much later in the timeline.
That was one of the reasons he left.
One of the shorts for next week, Andy. I want you to make this one. The time Batman got Batgirl pregnant. We're gonna put this.
Which
up.
one?
Are we also referencing the Killing Joke opening?
Possibly. Which is another Bruce Timm thing.
Weird.
Bruce Timm was real big on getting Batman and Batgirl together.
Yeah.
Well, he read the Norman
Wonder Woman and
Osborn
Batman,
and
oddly
Gwen
enough.
Stacy, and he was like, I can make Batman.
Yeah,
do
he
this.
had this thing for Batman hooking up with people.
I don't know why.
And then thinking
Because
they're a robot.
If you go to the Justice League cartoon, it was Batman and Wonder Woman too.
Oh yeah, well I know Batman and Wonder Woman Justice League cartoon was cool. I don't care what you say, that was cool.
No, I'm just saying Bruce Timm had this thing with Batman like hooking up with DC females.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah.
Out of the animated content.
No, that's actually something
Right.
funny because in the '90s, while I did read comics, I didn't comprehend what I was reading, and I always thought Batman and Wonder Woman were a thing because of the cartoon, you know, which isn't a thing. You know. So,
thing, Dan.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a thing, but I'm glad you cleared that up.
I'm here for it.
so number 3 is Lord Deathman's Exile.
Lord Deathman.
Good old Lord.
During the
Deathman.
events of Batman Incorporated 2, Batman, Catwoman, and a young man named Jiro Osamu. I don't know how to, it's Jiro. So I think it's Jiro. Osamu. It's the Japanese Batman, is what it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a quest to avenge the Japanese superhero Mr. Unknown. Their journey leads them to the elusive and immortal Lord Deathman. What?
Sorry. Whenever I think Japanese Superman now, I just think of the moment with Ghostmaker where he's like, okay, Japanese Batman, you're out. Your name's too close to Batman.
Wait, I didn't see that. When did that happen?
That was
It
in
is
the
when he
newest-
gives him Batman Inc.
Yeah.
And he puts him in
Ghostmaker
front.
takes control and he basically just goes down and trolls each member of Batman Incorporated. And
He's like, you
"You're-"
didn't even change your name.
Yeah, he's like, you're okay. Your name is too close to Batman. You're I think he's like, I don't like your costume to one
He
guy.
was like, yeah, it's not original at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
gotta look
Ghostmaker.
Ghostmaker is great. I'm kind of sad that he's seemingly been written out now.
Well, now he's in Batman Incorporated.
Yeah, now he's in Ghostmaker.
Wait, Batman Incorporated? Well, yeah, that's
They're
where he
supposed to
is.
be bringing it back.
The book is coming back?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
okay.
supposed to be, yeah.
Because I know Batman gave him Batman Incorporated. Like, can you run this? Because you're the only one I know with money.
Yes, that was. He literally says that
great
as well.
line.
He's like, plus I'm the only guy rich enough that he knows. And Batman's like, that's true.
Yeah.
I like how when they make Batman not rich, it's still millionaire. Like he's not like poor.
He's still got a brownstone in New York that would cost so much money.
They're like, all right, he's not 0.1%. He's just top 1%. Okay, like.
So anyway, though Batman is typically against killing, that shouldn't be a problem considering Lord Deathman is incapable of actually dying. Batman has an equally permanent solution for the immortal villain. Instead of locking him up in prison or Arkham or wherever immortal criminals would go,
Starve him in the sewer.
Batman locks him in a spaceship and blasts the bad boy into the infinite abyss of space,
Sorry.
leaving
the
Lord
bad boy.
That's what it says.
There's my supervillain name.
the bad boy,
The bad boy. Yeah.
leaving
gonna
Lord
wanna fight you.
Deathman in a permanent timeout. You go to space now.
World War Hulk, you out of here.
You're space timeout.
You could be my sidekick, Party Boy.
Bad boy and party boy.
That's it. The next comic we're gonna write, Andy.
Yeah. It's weird how we
My
have a certain
superhero
fan base.
identity is just a pop collar. And it's Superman style, so I just fold it down and they're like, oh my God, it's Dan. I'm like, oh, it's Party Boy. Where did you come from?
No idea.
And your glasses, they're like the neon ones.
Yeah, they're the like
band.
rainbow holographic
Yeah,
one.
I'm with you.
like
Number
this.
2 is got Stephanie Brown killed.
She
Which
got better.
time?
Which time? So Batman is just a
She
pretty.
wasn't even dead.
But he got her killed even though she didn't die.
That doesn't make any sense.
So basically, Batman sets off a series of
The
events that
thought
led.
that counts.
Batman sets off a series of events that led to Stephanie's death at the hands of Black Mask. Though it is eventually revealed that she faked her death, Bruce didn't even bother to tell Tim that he suspected it may have been the case.
She comes back and says, I'm not dead. And Tim's like, what are you talking about? And Bruce is like, oh. I was supposed to tell you something.
I knew I forgot something.
Tim, I want to tell you something, and I think you need to hear it from me first.
Stephanie has died. But she's not dead.
But great news. She's right there now.
I got good news
You know,
and
I always
bad
found the
news.
Stephanie Brown stuff weird because it was the only in-canon female Robin. It lasted like
Up to that point, yes.
it only lasted like 2 years, and then they just killed
Yes.
her off.
She was not a very good Robin.
Spoiler, she came back.
better.
I think so, and then everyone always forgets it. Like, yeah, there's only 4 Robins in continuity, and then Carrie Kelly's extra.
Also, there's Carrie Kelly, there's Stephanie Brown.
no, they don't.
Duke
they-
Thomas was
no
technically one for like 2 days.
No one ever mentions Stephanie Brown. If you thought they're always like it's Dick, it's Jason, it's Tim, and it's Damian, and then Carrie Kelly's from another universe. There's a 5th Robin, guys, like in canon Robin.
But was she?
You know what I also didn't realize? Because we use the same clickbait twice now.
Okay.
White Knight has introduced its Robin through Duke,
Yes.
but Flashpoint Beyond introduced its Robin through Two-Face's son. So
That's the weirdest thing.
So both of them have their new Robins introduced around issue 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah.
So I was tired of looking at
Duke's
this-
Robin is kind of funny, though.
Duke, yeah,
Because he's like a 30-something-year-old dude.
Why do I gotta wear these tights?
He does say that. He's like, I'm not wearing the tights.
Really?
I mean, his suit is more of like a.
commando kind of thing, but
It's like a ninja.
yeah.
Not nude.
Not Commando
He
is in
kind of
like
looks
a
like if
military
Robin
command.
was in.
Why do you
Mortal-
go to nude?
He looks like
it's
if
funny.
Robin was in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So, but
Have
it's
you not
but,
read that one?
But when they no, I've been reading that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
been
But when they
one
bring
he's
it
in.
up, his first thing is just like, I'm not wearing the tie.
I like when Batman's demanding that he take off the outfit, and he's like, "No, you're not the boss of me. Barbara is."
You're not the boss to me. She is.
And she told me to follow you in the suit. All right, and the number 1 issue on this list, and then we're going to go to a second list to see how many of these repeat and probably get a couple extras. Tower of Babel.
Well, yeah. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, we kind of already talked about that one, but that's where Batman had a contingency plan for every member of the Justice
Which
League.
makes sense. And I understand they all got mad because of a trust issue. But that makes sense. I have a plan to kill Dan if he ever goes evil.
That's fair. I got
I'm sorry.
plans to kill you guys.
More evil.
It's probably the same as yours. A gun.
I've actually
See-
already cut Huey's brakes.
Andy's just trying to whittle down the employees. He wants a raise.
All right, let's make sure we don't take Huey's car on the road trip.
He's starting to brake and nothing's happening, and I'm in the back seat. Guys, I have something to tell you. I want you to hear from me first.
The brakes got better.
Completely forgot that I cut those.
But I will say the whole Batman having a contingency plan for everyone, that's happened so many times.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that's Batman's
that's probably
thing.
like the most overdone Batman thing at this point. Is
Yeah.
probably because like he does it in the one where Poison Ivy like takes over everyone.
Yeah.
Does it in the other one where Poison Ivy takes over everyone.
Yeah.
Because that is actually 2 separate stories.
The other list, it does have a lot of repeats because at first I thought it didn't because a couple of these were like new. 15 worst things that Batman has ever done by a website called Goliath.com. So this one includes firing Dick Grayson as Robin.
That's oh my god, firing someone.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's one of the worst things ever, but
It's one of the worst things that allowed him to grow and become a better character.
They were like brainstorming this list, and they're like, he hanged him off his plane. Nah, he fired Dick Grayson, dude.
Yeah, not cool.
Put that on.
this one is, I find this funny because you pretty much take anything Frank Miller did with Batman and it's going to constitute as one of the worst things Batman has ever done. But when he locked Robin in the Batcave, forcing him to eat rats to survive.
Oh, that was in All-Star Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
It's because he was the goddamn Batman.
He was not
All-Star
an
Batman and
all-star.
Robin was like, Batman was fully unhinged.
Wildly unhinged. And then Alfred's like, he's not going to sit here and eat rats. I'm going to get him a burger. And Batman's like, I did. And he's like, you chose to.
I had the burger!
Literally, Batman's like,
You
I did it.
volunteered.
And he's like, you wanted to do that.
That's the infamous comic where Batman paints an entire room yellow.
Yeah, to fight Hal
Yeah,
Jordan.
to fight
Hal
Green
Jordan.
Lantern.
Also, he bangs Black Canary in costume after pretty much murdering a bunch of people.
Doesn't he do something with the car? I can't remember what he does with the car.
He runs into like a bunch of police and accidentally almost kills Alfred and Vicky Vale, like in the process.
Like that whole book could be.
Yeah.
We should cover that book and just
That
call it
was-
the worst things Batman has ever done.
That was in when Frank Miller was really starting to go off the deep end. And the art though is fantastic because it's fully done by Jim Lee,
Okay.
like in his like prime.
Yeah.
So it's like full Batman and Robin, Jim Lee, and it looks amazing, but it is utterly insane.
You're like, this is terrible, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that.
awesome.
The most insane Batman story ever, because it doesn't
With
even end.
great
Didn't
art.
they technically finish it? They came back to wrap it up.
No.
I thought I got to issue 9, and then one of the big deals they made about Rebirth was they were bringing back All-Star Batman.
Oh, All-Star Batman was
The
a comic, but
and it was
didn't-
Duke Thomas.
Yeah, it was Scott Snyder writing it.
Oh,
It was just,
that's
it was
right.
just
Okay.
the name.
Yeah, because we got to do All-Star Batman and Robin, because it doesn't go. It literally just leaves on a cliffhanger. They never concluded it because it was so bad.
Pretty much,
All over
it's
the place.
like welcome to the Robin joins Batman, but that's it.
Yeah.
but that's supposed to be like it's also supposed to be like a prequel to Batman Year One and The Dark Knight Returns.
Right. He apparently, I don't know, remember this one. I'll say I didn't know this one, but he dated Lois Lane. In Lois Lane number 89, he reveals that he's romantically interested in Lois for years and never acted on it. Clark breaks it off with Lois, and Bruce makes his move. The pair get married and even have a baby. What continuity is that?
I actually
That was probably
remember.
the Silver Age.
I
But it's
remember
like-
us talking about this one
remember
before.
images of Clark being like, Bruce, I just had to do it, man. I just had to break it. Really? Interesting. I'm going to call you back. Lois.
Clark's just like, still me.
I can-
Oh God,
Oh, sorry, I didn't hang up.
I can hear you. I mean, he could.
He could, yeah. He's
listed as one
is
of the
that
worst things
Lois
that's ever happened.
screaming?
This writer put number 12 is Falling for Talia al Ghul.
I wouldn't say that's crazy. She's hot. I would say the continuing along with it after you learn that father was an ancient assassin. Probably not the best plan.
He's still to this day.
Yes. That's like
It's weird because like
it's a
Talia.
Dan's dating life.
What I love about his relationship with Talia al Ghul at this point, it's like it just happened in Shadow War. Like
Yeah.
she has this whole league of assassins, and he's like, "Well, Talia, I'm not gonna bust you though. We're raising this child together. So
Our test tube, baby. You remember Damien?
half the writers don't, but I do."
He tried to murder me recently.
Like
You've tried to murder me recently. Maybe I should start rethinking some things.
I'm just saying, like he never acts against Talia, even though she
Yeah.
literally has a league of assassins moving around doing things.
Yeah.
Torturing the Penguin.
I mean, Oswald.
Which
had it
time?
coming.
Which time?
Yeah.
Batman is looking for his childhood friend Dawn Golden in the Dark Knight series in 2011. He discovers that the Penguin is involved in her disappearance and loses his cool.
Penguins.
I don't know enough about that one.
Stupid bird-shaped man. What?
Waddle for me, waddle.
This would be me if I was like Batman. I'd be like roasting my villains. I'd be a little bit of Spider-Man, a little bit of Batman.
Justice League contingency plans
So
we
you'd be
discussed.
Spider Batman. That's what. Now we know why you're playing that as your D&D character.
Endangering children repeatedly. That's something
Well,
that
yeah,
gets brought up a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Spousal abuse we went over already.
Sure.
Because she's a robot.
Some robot.
Is it really abuse if you're just trying to find out if they're
That
a
is
robot?
true. That's a good question. Well, it is if she's actually a human. It isn't if she's actually a robot.
Ah.
You see, it's a fine line.
Making Deathman suffer, trying to murder KG Beast, ignoring Blue Beetle's pleas for help. What? Blue Beetle discovers something called the OMAC Project, and his pleas largely fall on deaf ears, but Batman is the one who perhaps treats him the worst. Batman sees
take
Beetle
cool.
as a pest not worthy of his time, brushing his concerns aside and sending the hero packing. It turns out the Beetle was right all along and gets murdered in the OMAC Project. I didn't.
And then
But it's
Batman's
not
like,
better.
probably should have done something about that.
Pretty much everything involving Stephanie Brown. The early killing
Alfred's
years.
like, what's the difference between this one and all the other orphans you've taken in? Batman's like, because this one's a girl.
She has to have a harder time. Oh, she died? I may have gone too far.
Oh, she didn't die. We're okay. We're okay.
Oh, I should have told him.
I don't have to learn a lesson. Picking Azrael as his successor.
That one just doesn't make any sense.
You used to be an assassin, but you got better. So
All right, so I've got this
got a
one
thing for
guy
assassins.
who I trained since he was a small boy. We've got a long history together. He's his own superhero. He's got a fantastic mullet. Or, stay with me here, Alfred. This guy was an assassin who has been brainwashed by the church.
But he's got a flaming sword.
obviously the
the
church is
flaming
easy.
sword is what sells me.
Yeah,
on
I
it.
would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Batman doesn't use a flaming weapon, in my opinion.
All right. Well,
That's a
that
really good
is
point.
2 lists of the worst things that Batman has ever done. Yeah, those are pretty funny. That's all I'm going to say. Don't forget to check out our sponsors.
Yeah.
Back.
It's like the most awkward ending to an episode ever.
Backbone. Go to playbackbone.com/experiment as well as G Fuel. Use code comics at checkout. Great
And
stuff, you
Shortbox.
guys. What's that?
Shortboxed.
And Shortboxed. Code comics?
No, well, it's a link. I'll help down below.
It's a link
Shortboxed.
down below. Make sure to click. You know what? Just make sure you click that description. Check it all out. It's a bunch of great stuff.
And don't forget to check out our other channels, Dungeons & Ale, Absolutely Marvel and DC, Ben and Friends Gaming, Tales from the Mind, Comicstorian Full Story, Comicstorian Shorts.
And he talks about stuff. I'm gonna start a channel.
We're just going to put a camera
It's going to
on
be
you.
our best working
Andy's
one.
talking about
And
stuff.
I get half the money.
Wait, what?
Dips.
Why?
Because I dipsed it just
No.
then. That's how it works.
We'll see you guys next time right here. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.